Panther Magazine, the Panther Platform lookbook and the official publication for the Panther Platform.
Yo, what's cooking, everyone? It's the Racing Chef with Panther Magazine Spotlight. Let's cook it up. This is a 1989 LTD Crown Victoria station wagon. I found this car in New Jersey on Craigslist for 800 bucks a very long time ago, probably like 6-7 years now. Drove it home. The guy wanted to turn it into a Ranchero, and then he found out Rancheros exist. So I went ahead and bought this. It came flat black. I actually just painted it 2 weeks ago, fixed some of the rust around it. I had quite a bit of rust going around. You can see it's all fixed up now. Not a spot on it. The last owner took the roof rack off. It's dirty right now because of all the pollen in spring. A lot of new gaskets on the car. Still needs more. They don't make parts for these anymore, especially wagon stuff. So it's all about trying to get on the forums and work with other people. I have a Ford Box Wagon Facebook group that I help manage, and a lot of those guys help out a lot trying to get with each other and figure out what we can do to keep these cars on the road. So some of the mods that I've done for the car include the Mach 1 wheels. I also own the Mach 1 Mustang. One of the best mods I've done, I picked up these wheels from a welder that had a Mach 1 Mustang. The guy never made his payments, so he started parting off his car. I got General G-Maxes on it. They've been holding out real well. I got 1 inch spacers in the front and 2 inch in the rear, because these cars, the newer Mustang wheels, don't just bolt right on it like the newer model Crown Vics, but it is the same bolt pattern and it fits right on there, and she looked good. I currently just picked up a TV off of Facebook Marketplace for free so I could play my Sega the intended way, but you can see how much space is back here. I currently have no headliner because part of fixing the holes in the roof for the roof rack was to take it out and weld in all the holes. You can see the amazing work that got done here. All of that got welded in real good. Back here you can see the locking mechanism for the back. You pull this handle here and then the back seat folds down. This has a cover on it. Again, the interior is completely apart because that's the only way to get the headliner out, is by removing this stuff. I had to remove the dash and a bunch of other things. But this is my air tank setup. These are aluminum tanks that got iron sprayed onto it and set out so it could rust, and then painted flat black to match the car. V-Air compressors, top of the line, hard line air lines, because they look cool. There you go, and there are 2 tanks in there. It is a airlift 3-piece system. You can see it has LEDs around it. Does look really nice with the cover on it. Again, cover's not on there. These do fold completely flat if there wasn't a huge 400-pound tube TV in the way. But there's a little compartment here where you can put stuff. It's like your trunk area. It came with these speakers. I hate them. This back seat folds completely down, and it's 8 feet of space from there all the way to the back. Great Home Depot car. I still have to fix the rear motor. I have the pieces to fix it, but you pull this, the rear window rolls down, and you can see it's hinged here, and it's also hinged on the bottom so that the entire tailgate also folds this way. Everyone always loves the antenna. They're like, yo, someone bent your antenna. I actually did this at a low limbo contest where I was trying to get the car under the limbo stick, and I would have been out if it wasn't for the antenna. So they're like, unscrew it. Tried to unscrew it, and she was in there. So I just bent it right over, and I got this cool flag that's been wearing away. Got her zip tied up real good because she wants to fall off. Now, when I bought the car, it had stripes on it already from the previous owner, and when I got it repainted, I'm like, the stripes got to stay on it. It's part of it, and it looks very cool. My first ever car was an '89 Crown Vic, same year as this one, but it was a sedan, and it ended up getting totaled because it kind of drove into a semi-truck. But my dad saved a lot of the pieces, including this hood emblem, which did not come on this car. There was no hood emblem. This is from the old one. There's a lot of pieces throughout this car that was actually on my first car when I was 16 to now when I'm 28, and I still am rocking the OG Crown Vic stuff. One of the things being that license plate. It's kind of cringe these days, but when I was 16, this was cool. It is the middle of the day, so it's very bright out, but the car does have LEDs under there. You can see right mounted on the frame. And I had to make a whole custom setup on the back. You can see there, I had to put a whole frame rail system on the car to get it to work because there's nothing to mount it to. It was a completely custom underglow. Checking out inside. I usually rock with a fitted sheet as my seat cover. You can see how worn out she is. It's from 1989. See underneath. It's looking good. I had the floor fixed. I have a tachometer because the car a long time ago had idling problems. Had no idea what RPM it was at. And the car's not on and it's not at 0. I had overheating problems. I had to change the radiator, so I got a water temp gauge. You see the factory, all they give you is a speedometer. This is out of a Mercury. This didn't come in Fords, but I love the analog look. Got the Airlift 3P controller. This is the radio out of my OG Crown Vic when I was 16. It's okay, it works. Bluetooth, not too great. Air conditioning in the car is the only thing that really doesn't work. Do I have a signature from Donut Media's Jeremiah Burton? See, it is a full bench seat. Not too many of the cars had those. You can see in the back, you press this button. You press this button, and then you can fold the back seat down, just like that. And there's a little pocket. This thing folds down on it. You can see the roof again. This dash, I had this dash hand delivered to me from a buddy of mine out in California. And I have never experienced something like that in my life, where a guy in California is like, yeah, I can deliver it, but it's better if I just hand it to you. And flew all the way to Pennsylvania to give me this dash. And it is absolutely flawless. No cracks in it. It came with the cover, so I'm leaving the cover on it for now. But it is so rare to find an uncracked, anything. Like, it is minty dash. See some more. I just had to put all these parts back in. Again, it was just painted, so I still have to put a lot of the car back together. The floor down here, I did have an issue with the floor being completely missing, essentially. It was really rusty down here. I do have some drain holes that I left out, just so the moisture has a place to escape. You can see there is a little bit of moisture still. It's not bodywork related. I think it's coming in through the windshield, so it's another thing that I have to do. And you can see the lines that were under there for the air suspension. And then I just have to tidy up the carpet. Into the engine bay. See here, I got the 5.0 V8. All of these parts, the distributor cap and the wires, actually came from my 89 Crown Vic when I was 16. Still rocking them. Stock airbox, you don't need to change it. It works great. Not looking to get crazy power out of it. I just want it to be reliable and get me to shows. And I daily drive this a lot too. As you can see when I buy stuff on Craigslist like that TV. The original guy that painted this left everything tan, which was the original color. But when I got it repainted, everything got body matched. So you really can't even tell. It did a very good job. And then on the repaint, I wanted some of the patina to be replaced. So we wore the usual edges that would be worn, and this does have a matte clear on it, so I can wash it. Just haven't yet. Do have Cars and Coffee coming up, you can see here. And then onto the back, I'm sure you saw some more wear spots that we added to give it that worn look, which it had originally, but I had a giant hole right here. Well, it was a small hole, then it was bigger, then it was a lot bigger, but it's had brand new metal put in it. It's all metal, nothing bad in there. See, they added some more wear marks all through where you'd normally wear it, like when you're grabbing the handle. Did a very good job on it. I am missing a few clips for here I have to find. This does kind of this does get loose on the highway. It starts flapping around. You got to put down the window and click it back on there. So I just got to find some more clips, because taking that off when we painted it, I might have broke a couple. Some future plans for the car is it's pretty much where I want it to be. I got to get the interior put together. I want to get the exhaust done up and possibly get some custom wheels. I have a guy that makes literally whatever design you want, any size you want, so I don't need spacers anymore. And I want some custom stuff in there, some chef knives in the design. It'll still be the Mach 1 style. Eventually, when I get tired of the flat black, which will probably be in a few years, I want to do a dark, heavy flake maroon on the car. But I'm still loving the matte black, so it's going to be staying for a while. Another thing people enjoy are the curb feelers. There were 2 prongs on each, but from dragging it on the ground so much, that one of them fell off of each of them. But it's pretty much when you go up against the curb on old cars, this hits before your wheel does, so you can't curb your wheels. It's not that I need them, but they look cool. Another thing only on old cars, I have ignition key, I have a door key, I have a glove box key, and I have a rear door key. And I also have a switch for my LEDs. Let's go ahead and start it. You can check out ride height. I just double tap the center. This is how I drive it. The compressors are very loud inside the car, but outside you can almost not hear it at all. And that's without the cover on it too, don't forget. Now if I open this, you see how loud they are. Still not that bad, but without a headliner, it doesn't absorb any noise, so it kind of echoes in there. A lot of people think my car's on hydraulics when I park it at the show like this. This is bags. It is sitting on nothing but the bag, and we relocated the shock onto the control arm so that it can still have the shock, it doesn't bounce on the road, and it has a really nice drive, and it's very planted. It handles a lot better than factory, but the factory suspension did ride nicer. You see the shock there. I replaced all the suspension components, pretty much everything in the engine bay. This whole car has brand new everything. It's pretty much a 2024 Crown Vic. I've changed the gas pump, I've changed the gas lines, brake lines, literally everything, except the air condition, because that's a little beyond my knowledge at this point, but we'll get it figured out. You can see when it's in this position, I am able to drag the exhaust tip on the ground. That's why it's not a nice exhaust tip, because I drag this at shows. This is how I enter and usually how I leave the shows. Just give the crowds a little action. Another great thing about driving it is you can use just one finger to make turns. That's it. You can drive the whole car on just one finger. I also have replaced the power steering pump. So there's another thing that when that started to go, couldn't let that happen. Need my one finger steering. That's a great thing about the Panther community, is we can all get together, solve each other's problems, and help each other's cars keep running. Just like with this dash coming all the way from California. It's just one of many examples of the Panther community just coming out on top, and the people with most communities is really what makes it so special. See here, just one finger floating over railroad tracks. you want to follow up along with the build as well as my other cars that I have, you can check out Cooking Cars on YouTube. You can hit me up on Instagram, The Racing Chef. And a huge thanks to Derek and the official Panther Magazine for getting me on the channel and featuring my '89 Crown Vic.